Hey guys, it's me. What's up? Uh, I just wanted to get on here and tell you guys another jail story. I was thinking about some good ones earlier. I got plenty. All right, so this was a time I was young. I was in jail up in Pittsburgh, and that jail is like notoriously horrible. Like the conditions are really bad, especially for the women. Um, this I think that yeah, this was my first time I was ever in jail. Ever like it was. I was so scared. I remember like there's the intake pod. There's three different pods for women, and it's F, E, and D. F pod is called the murder pod, and everybody goes through there. Like, that's where you go before you get assigned to what pod you're going to be in. But the people who have murder charges and, like, gross, charges, they stay there. They don't get to go to a different pod. So I'm on that pod for, it takes like a couple days. It's so miserable in there. And my roommate, she had like a real bad toothache, and her face was just swelled out to here, and she would be in there crying and screaming, and oh, I felt so bad for her. And she would try to get to the medical and stuff, and they didn't care. They just ignored her. I don't know if she ever got there, because I was moved to D pod, which D pod's like the normal pod where you go and just do your time and do whatever. And then the other pod, the E pod, that's where you go to do like programs and GEDs and classes and all that. And I wasn't going to be in there long enough to do all that, so I went to D pod. So while I'm on this is when I first got moved over there too, and it still disturbs me to this day. There was this woman, older woman up there. Her name was Joanne. I'll never forget it. And she they she kept saying, I'm not, because she was waiting for the prison to come pick her up, and she kept saying to everybody, I'm not going back to that prison. I'm not going back. What, Mark? And we're like, yeah, whatever. Obviously we thought she was just talking crap, but I guess like she had told us that like some crazy stuff happened to her in that prison, but I don't remember exactly what it was. So when they come, when the prison people come, sorry, my dog. When the prison people come, they pick you up at like 4 or 5 in the morning, and it's you don't know when they're coming. So, and this is so sad. So they come to pick her up, and she is in her cell, and she had hung herself with a bed sheet from the bottom bunk. I don't, because it was only a one man cell. So she must have, I don't know how she did that. But she did. She meant it when she said she wasn't going back to prison. Because we all heard her. They were like, so and so, pack it up. And she knew that it was them coming to get her. And so she said, hold on, just give me a minute. And then she never came back down. And when they went to go up and check on her, she was gone. And whew, we were like I said, it was real early in the morning, and we were about to get breakfast, because breakfast comes super early. And so you'd think they would lock the pod down and bring the food to the doors while something like this is going on. No, they didn't do that. We were all out eating breakfast in the common area, I guess you'd call it, at the tables, and we see like people dressed in suits and black, professional like people go up to her cell, and they hadn't even taken her body out yet. And while we were eating breakfast, we saw them wheeling her past on a gurney. And it just got silent. Everybody's like, what is like, what the? And that's just something I'll never forget. Like, I don't understand why they would let people see that, So, yeah, that's like my first or second day of being on that pod. So I was like, oh, this is going to be fun. And it sucked really bad. I was also pregnant when I was in there that time with my first kid, my first daughter, and they didn't do anything really extra for me. They gave me an extra tray, and that was it. I was only in there like 30 days or maybe like 40 that time, but it was a freaking mess in there. That place is like a madhouse, and it's huge. Another thing that happened in there is there was like this two girls were fighting, and the one picked the other girl, like grabbed her by the hair and was just smashing her head off this concrete floor. And I don't know what it was about. I was at the card table playing spades, and it just broke out. And freaking, when you seen that girl's face, it was just like smashed in, and she had like teeth everywhere, knocked out. Like it was like brutal, and I think the lady who did it probably got more time for it, because she really messed that girl up. That girl was young too. Yeah, that jail was nuts, but I was only in there for a short time, but I went back again. Just thinking about all this, that was crazy when I was younger. I did go back to that jail, and I did like 100 days in there a few years later. And I'll get into that in another video, because that little stint changed my entire life. Yeah, man, that is being in and out of jail, and ripping and running the streets and everything. It seemed fun at the time, but I look back now. I mean, not the jail part, and obviously, but like, the running around doing crazy stuff. Like, when I look back at it now, it makes me want to puke. Like, I don't know how I could never live like that again, ever. And I'm just happy with, a chill life, and going and doing fun stuff like once in a while, and having my dogs, and watching movies, all that kind of stuff. So I don't know, this was kind of a boring video, I'm sorry about that, but I'll think of some decent stories to tell for the next time, because I got quite a few. In that jail that I'm talking about, man, they don't give out no pads, tampons, nothing. Like, you can get pads like once in a blue moon, and like you have to make your old, like the cheapest roll of Dollar Tree toilet paper last like for a long time. Like there, man, there'd be people hoarding that crap, and um, it was just so bad. That the way they treat females in these jails really needs to change, because with stuff like that, that's like a necessity. A woman has to. Yes, I still have my Christmas tree up. Don't come at me. I would have taken it down by now, but I don't have one of those big totes to put it in. But it's actually a black Christmas tree. The color is, you can't really tell, but yeah, it's black. But yeah, the way they treat those women, it really needs to change, because they have different needs than men, obviously, and you know they're just in their like disgusting clothes because they can't get pads and tampons, like because a lot of them don't have money on the books, and it's crazy. So that's it. I'll think of some cool stories and try to rate it down so it's more cohesive and not all over the place. But thanks for listening, guys, and subscribe if you want to hear some crazy stories. All right.